company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your full-time Ipswich Buses fans react show. I am your host, the Gov. The link is now in the chat for you to have your say. That's right, the full-time show. If you're new here, it has been 18 months we've been doing this, but if you are new here, this is the part of the show where we hand it fully over to you guys and girls to come on your platform to have your say, unfiltered in your own words. And trust me, it is live and it is unfiltered. So whatever it is on your mind this evening at 10 to 10, let me know. And if you're watching this back on catch up, please do leave a comment in the comments, say hello, and let us know what you feel about Town following a comfortable 2-0 home win. I'm going to share the league table with you now. So you may have seen this already, but if you haven't, here is the league table as it stands this evening after the results. We currently, of course, still sit in 9th position. I think we're going to sit there forever. 59. Plymouth in 6th, played 35, 2 games less than us. They are on 62. You've got Sunderland on 37, same number of games as us, 63. So it's a much better position than it was this time yesterday. But there's still some work to be done, and we must be honest and truthful with that. But we are putting the building blocks in place. But we didn't come out of it unscathed. It has come at a price. Sam Morsi off injured. George Edmondson off injured. We will no doubt discuss that tonight. And we will also do the team ratings. As always, live link, live chat. Do please get involved. Joe Curry, good job. We won with other results. Jason Clayton, good win. But hope those injuries are not too serious. Neil Perks, good result. But no other results went our way. Stephen Parry, we did what we needed to do. Spot on, Mr. Parry. Rob Holmes, great win. But those 3 injuries aren't too serious. Well, Burns did finish the game. If that's the 3rd one, but yeah, 2 went off, one continued. Martin Bell, what a time to get injured. The running we got coming up. Safety guy 20 missed it. Sod and I fired problems, but we won. That means safety guy, you're gonna have to miss every single game from now on because you can't risk the universe sort of the luck that's brought. So sadly, you're gonna no longer have to watch Ipswich Town. I'm joking, of course. Chris Boyd, fingers crossed the injuries are slight. Well, yeah, it is March. I'd be surprised if players weren't carrying niggly little knocks and things that they had to work through. How bad they are, I do not know, of course, sitting here yet. But we'll try and find that. And once we do, if we hear anything, we'll get back to you. Burns did look uncomfortable. But again, he's been carrying an injury for a while now, hasn't he? So hopefully not anything he can't nurse through. Bloody Brenner says Ridge Boy 83. Jamie Souza, good result. I think the stick Brenner gets is unwarranted. But tonight, saying it was lucky we weren't playing a better side was utter dross. Solid 2-0 win. Coasting and still posing a threat. Stephen Parry, think there was only Edmondson that worried me. Think Morsi with precaution. He walked off okay. Rob Smith, we are running out of games to catch up with the other results not going our way. Must win almost every game now. Curtis Yates wrapped up in the first and saw it out in the second. Absolutely died. Good evening, Max. This might be a show for you. It might be positive. Mike D should be fine if a few are injured. If, as people say, we have the strongest squad in League One. Mr. Phillips, welcome back.
Do I get the 2-0 as part of me prediction league? Do I get 3 points for that?
No.
God damn it.
Oh, it's not a prediction league fixture, I'm afraid. But we are here to discuss the full 90 now. So lay it on the line. Yeah. We hand it over.
Well,
Luke's back. Hooray!
He's back.
Play
the launch video.
Welcome back.
Blaming these injuries on Jimmy Walker. He suddenly returns to the road and the Paul Lambert injury hoodoo reappears. I couldn't believe that. We were dropping like flies, weren't we, in the end?
Yes. But as Mr. Parry did say in the chat, Morsi did walk off well under his own steam. I have got my royalty on the platform, trying to find out the information as we speak.
Edmondson looked the worry to me.
Yeah.
If that's a ligament in his ankle, or even worse, a strain on his Achilles or something, that could be in for the season.
Well, I saw him mouth something, didn't I? I did put it in the group chat. I've completely forgotten what it was.
But then, like you said, you suddenly got Burgess, who's worth nearly £1 million on the bench. So.
Yeah, not many League One teams can have their fourth centre half that nearly cost £1 million. I would average a guess, but yes, I think I saw him mouth on iFollow. I think I pulled it, which I don't. Again, I'm not a lip reader. I'm not paid to be a lip reader, but I think that's what I saw. Pulled what? I do not know. But
you've got a history of lip reading, haven't you? Next to the director's box, Ipswich Barrow.
Yes. Yeah, they were deep in conversation that day. I knew something was up. I knew something was happening. They kept saying to you, something's going on here.
You did.
They're deep. They're not watching the game. They're deep in conversation. Yeah. There we go. If I had to ask you to sort of, 3 words Town's performance tonight, what would they be?
Really, really good.
Fucking hell. That's a cop-out. Sorry, excuse my language, but that's a cop-out.
We certainly dropped off in the second half, didn't we? I think we were caught in 2 minds, really, whether or not to try and get that third or just try and sit on what we had, and if the third comes, then so be it. But we were so like I said, I switched over to the away commentary on iFollow. So Brennan was being negative, was he?
He was being a little bit, yeah, he was. But the second half wasn't as good as the first. That is admitted. But we were still in domination mode. We were still in cruise control.
Yeah, you're 2-0 up, aren't you? Of course, when the second half starts, you've lost the momentum of the first half, haven't you? But I mean, look, BBC Lincolnshire thought we're one of the best teams they've played all season. And Jimmy Walker expected us to be top 6 quite comfortably. He said they've got 5, 6, 7 players could easily be playing in Championship clubs right now.
But Jimmy Walker's got a history of being wrong on that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with him on that one. But I thought it was a really good performance. It could have been a banana skin. They were coming off that 3-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. It sounds like to me that they've struggled to put back-to-back wins together this season, thinking a little bit like ourselves. Can we get now the much fabled 3 wins on the trot against Pompey on Saturday?
Well, this is it. Who's going to be fit? Mike D. Lincoln Comms described Edmondson as walking off the field like Tin Man. He looked pretty crocked. Major positive from the Fisherman was Piggott never came on. Adam Blamplate, good to see East Anglia as a big club doing good things again. What's been 20 years now been too long. Mike D. I had to turn off Mills and Brenner. They are dire. Let's bring in the Aluko Appreciation Society. How you doing this evening, Mr. Moss?
Very good, boys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. Us knobs, we're in the warm. We're not moaning this week. So
knobs in the warm. How are you?
Yeah.
We're good. How is it at Portman Road? How did you see it? The noise was terrific all night. I will say that.
I thought the atmosphere, Martin, was pretty flat, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
They did say that on BBC Lincolnshire. They said the Ipswich fans were
the second half, it was one of them games. I thought started off fairly well, and there was like 15 minutes, Martin, where we had a lot of the ball but didn't do enough with it, and then all of a sudden we just turned it on, and for about 20 minutes there, Matt, we were absolutely electric.
Yeah, it really was good. Yeah.
And it was 2-0. I thought this could be a 3, 4 or 5 second half, but they went to 4-4-2. They just nullified us a little bit, but they had nothing to offer, did they?
No.
Really.
No.
Christian Walton had a real comfortable night in the sticks.
Good save at the end from Scully.
Yeah, I think you mentioned me, didn't you? He's their top scorer and he's got the most assists, isn't he, Scully? So
someone to look at in the summer, maybe. Yeah,
possibly. But I thought it was a really good performance, Martin. Big shout out to Big T in the middle of midfield, Tyreek. I thought he was excellent tonight. I thought he really was.
I thought he was going to score with that long shot.
Yeah, good save by the keeper, wasn't it? But I thought he broke up play, Matt, really well. He's got his foot in every time, and
that's what he does.
Done the simple things. I thought that was probably his best performance in the Town shirt tonight.
I think. What are you thinking about middle of the park for Saturday then? If Morsi isn't fit,
Batkinson could play there. You could put Selena in there.
Yeah.
You got Carroll. You could drop Aluko in there, and then you could bring Chaplin in further forward.
Yeah, so there's options again. Isn't there?
Let's look. Let's hope Morsi. Morsi didn't look too bad to me when he went off.
No.
He didn't look as bad as Edmondson, because Edmondson looks. He's going to be struggling for Saturday, I think.
I think so, yeah.
But on the other end, we have, like you said, Martin, we've got a £1 million centre half there in Cameron Burgess. So he's played in a back three at Akron, and let's see what he can do.
On the left side as well. Yeah.
It's good. Look, it was disappointing tonight. We've won. Everyone else has won. But look, Matt and mine, we can only do our job. We've won our game.
Yeah.
And then we go on to the next one Saturday. That's going to be a really good game, because I think Pompey are going to bring about 2,000 down there. It'll be a great atmosphere Saturday, and let's hope we can get another 3 points and see what happens. I think Oxford play Sunderland Saturday, so there's going to be some teams drop some points. But massive shout out tonight, Martin. I just want to say, really pleased that we got the 3 points for Mike, his mum, their family, and Colin, because obviously today was the anniversary of Colin's dad's death. So massive shout out, and I'm really, really happy that we won.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thinking of Colin, obviously he is chairman of the Aluko Appreciation Society. Talk to me before I let you go about Sonny Aluko, or Shawnee Aluko. How good was he this evening?
I thought he was absolutely top class. That turn that was right in front of us, Martin. Twisted blood, didn't he? Give the fullback twisted blood, and then nearly actually got snapped in half by that guy. He absolutely comes flying in. He had to hurdle him, but look, he's like a little eel, Matt. I'll say like he's an eel. He gets that ball, he can twist, he can turn, it sticks to him. All he's missing is a goal, and he had a good chance there second half. North stand, and I thought, go on, put it in, and it didn't happen. But I thought he was excellent, and hopefully, I'd say he'd probably keep his place, wouldn't he, Martin, for Saturday.
You think? I don't know. This is McKenna. What do you think?
Well, I would on that performance, but we never know with Kieran, because he a couple of changes tonight. Obviously, Mike's delighted because Piggott wasn't in the team. I thought Jackson Jackson offers something that any of our strikers don't. He's got that pace, down the sides. He's got himself another goal, and look, it's 10 clean sheets. I know. Is it in 14 games now? McKenna's been in. And I think it's over 800 minutes, Matt, and we've only conceded 1 goal. But Saturday will be a big test, because Portsmouth are on form, aren't they? Scoring plenty of goals.
Yeah. 1-3.
And obviously Martin's player of the year, Raheem Harper, obviously stood out tonight for Crewe in a 3-0 defeat at home.
All right, Crunch. Bye-bye. Have a great evening.
Both Pompey strikers scored tonight. You got
cut me off.
You can't keep coming back to that. I didn't say what year he'd be player of the year. I didn't say what
exactly.
year.
All right, yeah.
But I think Backinson's starting to show, Matt, now why we signed him.
What do you mean starting to show now? I told you this for weeks.
What are you going to say? Are you going to say I told you so? Is that what you're going to say?
Mike's put in what I was going to say there. George has 2 goals for Pompey. Tyler Walker's at Pompey. He scored as well. So they play 3-4-1-2. So that could be quite an entertaining game on Saturday, I think. But
it's a game Saturday where both teams have got to go for the win now. Your games are running out. Us and Portsmouth are behind the 8 ball. So let's hope it's a cracker, Let's I reckon we'll get another. It'll be near 25,000, I think, Saturday, Are you two actually coming Saturday, or are you going to stay at home?
We'll see.
I've got a nice little trip to Frankfurt planned, I reckon. I'm joking. I'll be there Saturday.
You're the Blues.
Right, Crunch, we love you. Appreciate
you, boys.
See
you later.
All the best. King, Backinson, Raheem who?
We want injury updates. We want injury updates, Callie.
We want injury updates. What's going on?
I can't say nothing, mate. I'm sure there'll be something released by the club in due time.
I ain't that bad, surely.
I'm not getting anyone in fucking trouble, and then it's like, no. You don't know how people spin shit or whatever. So
we'll talk after the game. After the show, Backinson. Crunch said
I said to you, listen. I said to you on the weekend, and I said the other day, I think on Sunday, I says, he played well. I credit where it's due. And today, between him, Jackson, and Wolf, any one of those was man of the match. Any one of those was man of the match, and he looked good. He looked comfortable. I think some fans, myself included, kind of judged him too quickly, maybe.
What was it? What was it? Back in sun.
Send him back in some.
Yeah. Oh, look how it's suddenly turned around.
I still stand by what I said, which is Raheem Harper would shine in this team with McKenna, right? But that's another conversation. But he just looks comfortable on the ball. He looks comfortable on the ball. He does some of this. He's doing some of the simple stuff. He just grew into the game, really. You didn't really feel, well, you didn't really feel like they was going to do anything, did you?
No.
Really? No, it was quite, considering they were a playoff team.
It was a professional performance.
Yeah, incredibly professional. We're playing really well, which is why the injuries, I suppose, are coming at Classic Town at the wrong time, because we're playing well, and it's going to sort of, it could unsettle us a little bit, couldn't it, Cal?
Well, it depends. It's just sod's law who the injuries happen to.
Two pivotal players and Burns at the end, but he finished the game, didn't he?
Burns has been struck, like Martin said earlier. Burns has been he's been carrying something for a couple of weeks, so there's a niggle there. Also, don't forget you've just played Saturday. We may never. Anytime you go to a beach and you're walking in trainers, it's even worse. So imagine playing football on a beach with studs. So obviously that's what they're suffering from that on Saturday. I know we're joking about beach, but the pitch was bad, and that does affect you. Like Sam and a few of them, when they were after the game, they were like hobbling a little. Nothing major, but it was just like, it's a shit pitch.
Wear and tear on there,
So you do hope that obviously it's not a major one, but I think that realistically, if we're going to be without the likes of Fridge and Morsi for maybe 1, 2, 3 games,
will we?
I don't know. I said maybe.
Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did? Park it right there, Mr. Cali. Backinson for Ballon d'Or, says Curtis. There's lots of Backinson love tonight, Matt.
But
Curtis,
first of all,
in.
How was vegetable curry?
Yes.
It was all right, to be fair. Underwhelming, I think, is how I just.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably say about 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Look, you spend all that money on a decent curry takeaway, and you get a 6 out of 10.
How much did it cost you?
To be fair, it's a new place around here. I think we got it off Just Eat for like 20% high back. So I think it was only about 21 quid for like 2 meals and a few nams.
How much?
21 quid.
21 English pounds. Or is this pounds or rupees?
Apparently a rupee's now worth a penny, according to what Matt was telling me before the show.
That's rubles.
Rubles.
I don't fucking know. I just deal in pounds. Even those, I've got a very limited number of them. That I do know. Curtis, luckily the football team didn't disappoint. Tell us about them tonight.
Well, as everyone knows, I've always been a massive fan of Terry Backinson. I've always been his biggest fan. I've never ever said a bad word about him, to be honest. And today was just the epitome of what I've been talking about. He's just one of our better midfielders at the club. No, seriously. He did have a really good game. There's no denying that. And to be fair, I think we had the game wrapped up in the first half. So
we did.
It was a bit of a lackluster second half, but we didn't need to go all guns blazing.
No, exactly.
It was just about seeing it out. And again, these are little stepping stones, because in games gone by, we'd have probably conceded 1 to then concede 2 to then concede 3. So we just saw it out in the second half. We got a nice 2-goal cushion, and it's the one negativity about it is our home commentary is so dire. It is so dross. Listen, Mick Mills might be a club legend, but it don't make him interesting to listen to. It don't make him interesting to listen to.
I think he's brought down. I think it's guilty by association.
You should have gone beat for Lincolnshire, mate, guys. It's good. It's good, Jimmy Walker. Should get him on.
They just rub off each other, and I think if there's only one negative tonight, it's just the comms. But on the pitch, I thought we did our jobs. I thought we did a professional job. We saw out the game. The only other negatives, I suppose, would be Edmondson's injury and the possible injuries to other. But no, Lincoln offered nothing, though, did they? They offered nothing. They were absolutely Like, I think someone said the other week that like Burton were probably one of the worst teams to come to Portman Road, but like Lincoln there was just nothing. There was absolutely nothing from them.
No, and they had Marquis up front as well, who's a good striker at this level. Absolutely. But I mean, they were saying on their radio, every time Ipswich play a ball in the channel, you've got Burns there or you've got Jackson there. When we're doing it, i.e. Lincoln are doing it, there was no one there. They wanted that Warrington to get, I think it was Warrington, to get a bit further forward. And the guy on the right, Cuffy, was it? But Marquis didn't get the support. But we played well, didn't we? We defended well.
Yeah, we did our jobs. Like I said, the game was wrapped up in the first half, so we didn't need to to pat on the pressure in the second half. I mean, everyone would love us to go and score 4, 5, 6. You don't need to. When you've already got that cushion, just see if you get the 3 points, because that's all we need at the moment. We just need the 3 points. It's not about scoring as many goals as we can. Like, we don't need to win in spectacular fashion. We just need to get the 3 points at the moment. And if you've done the job within 45 minutes. Just take a step back, sit back a bit. Not to say that we took our foot off the pedal, but we didn't need to go all guns blazing, so therefore we didn't have to. So 45 minutes in, job done. Get the 3 points, and by 10 o'clock you can all smile and go home. So yeah.
Does the injuries concern you, Curtis?
Not really. Not really. I think with the way McKenna's talking, especially with about Burgess in recent weeks, I think. It was only a matter of time before Burgess got his chance, and now possibly he has got his chance in the upcoming games to stake a bit of a claim. I think with Morsi again, he walked off fairly well, so I personally wouldn't be too worried unless Cal knows any different. But
he knows nothing.
But no, I'm not too worried. We've got a squad capable.
No. You don't need to. No. You don't need my big ass face on the fucking screen.
Put him under the spotlight. Any infliction, any change in the face.
Listen. We're familiar with this. I ain't no snitch. Don't worry. We're fine.
Just thought I'd see, Judge Rinder coming. Is he gonna? No. He's saying the truth. Line to take the test.
I certainly think the middle of the park is the worry for me. I think we've got Burgess to slot in on the left-hand side, haven't we, of the three? It's that middle of the park, because if you play Carroll in there, he just doesn't have the same impact, does he, that a Morsi brings to the table. And we haven't got Evans at the moment either. So I think that's a little bit of a worry. But like you say, hopefully dead leg or something.
Maybe it's a El Miz and
maybe. Yeah. Jamie Allen, Mick Mills drinking game. Every time he says, take a shot. You'll be pissed within 10 minutes. Stay there, both of you. We've got Penny Whisperer. Here he is. How are you doing? Is that Lewis?
Yeah. Hello, boys. You all right?
How are you?
I can't tell who it is. I was looking at the screen.
You're in some sort of like horror film where you're going to do some Ouija board or something.
Yeah, sorry. I'm stuck in traffic on the way back. So, just listening. Thought I'd give you a shout. It's a good game, wasn't it? First half in particular.
What did you think of it being at Portman Road tonight?
Yeah, I agree with Cruncher. I don't know. Well, obviously you said it came across quite positive, quite upbeat on the iFollow, but yeah, it was slightly flat. It was, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it was negative. No one was critical, but yeah, I wouldn't say it was quite as buzzing as some of the other evening games we've had, despite what was served up on the pitch. In the first half, we were really good. Second half, I thought it was just a really professional display. I don't really get all the negativity around it. We kept the ball. We played little triangles. We kind of killed the game off, and particularly with the injuries, sort of, it did impact us. And so I think it was just a case of keeping the ball and trying to kill off the game, really, which we did quite effectively. So another 3 points, another win down, and we're that bit closer despite the other results.
Yeah. Do you think that played into the atmosphere, in the sense of what you just said there? It was all but over, really, by 60, 65, and it was a case of shut up shop and play keep ball.
Yeah, there were a couple of people and Bobby Robson Lower around me who were sort of, bring it forward, attack the space, comments like that or shouts like that. And we just continued to play our triangles. We looked really comfortable, and they didn't really lay a glove on us, did they? And that kind of 15-20 minute spell in the first half, we were outstanding. We pressed and pressed and pressed, and I can't really fault anybody tonight. I think everyone contributed. I know kind of jokingly I've mentioned bringing Penny back into the team, but I thought Thompson had a really assured game. I was a bit concerned when we didn't have a fullback or wing back on the bench, because he's got to about an hour and been blowing in other games. But I thought he was really solid. I know Cruncher mentioned Backinson, thought he was really good. Morsi, I really hope Morsi and Fridge are okay for Saturday, but don't know. As you say though, Burgess came on. Let's see what he can do. He's £1 million centre half. So no, overall all positive. It's just obviously going to be seeing what comes out in the next couple of days, or what Callie decides to share with you after the show regarding the injuries. But massive game Saturday.
Huge game. Who was your man of the match, Lewis? Before we tell the traffic to get moving,
I'm going to say Aluko. Thought Luco was really good, and as Cruncher said, unlucky not to score. Great block in the second half, but that turn in the first half, he was just everywhere, and really had that energy to drive us on when we needed it in the first half. So yeah, I'll go with Aluko, but a lot of people ran him close.
Yeah, I thought Aluko was really good. I hope you drive home safely, Lewis. I hope you get home safely. I take it you're not driving. Look after yourself, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Look after yourselves. Take care.
Good man. When that appeared at the bottom of the screen, I was looking at it with a good intent, like, who the flip is that? I was trying to stare for a good 5 minutes trying to work out who it was.
I realised the red was brake lights. Yeah. I realised that's what it was. I was just like, you look very sinister there, but it was the red from the brake lights. So yeah.
Yeah. Simon and Nicky are just home. Thought the crowd was a bit flat. Official Sam is not surprised that Luke's in here trolling again. We've had him all night in the chat. It's a funny one.
To be fair to Luke, yeah, it's one of those where, okay, your team's in a higher thing, but you're a shit team. You're a tin pot team, no history.
You're a nobody team.
Yeah. It's just like the only thing you can do if you want some proper content is look anything to do with Ipswich.
It's true.
You know, I get it. I don't even hate you, mate. Like Luke, I don't even hate you, man. I ain't even angry at you. Do you know what I mean?
No, and I've seen some of the Norwich content on YouTube. I wonder he's here.
Is there someone wearing a sailor hat on one of them or something?
I got no idea. We would never do such things on this platform, would we, Matt? We would never do such things.
Wait, see us dressing up.
You would never see us wearing silly hats. But yes, occasionally I get bored of Luke, so he will go on a timeout every now and then. Onto the naughty step.
Naughty corner.
So he has had a timeout because he's called people jerks. No one does that other than me. Louis, or Cruncher calls them knobs. Let's be honest. Ego always goes one better. Louis, how are you?
Hi, mate. Hi.
I'm good. Yeah.
In front of the iconic blue wall. Forget the Dortmund yellow. Is it the yellow wall at Dortmund?
Yes.
We've got the Louis Fenton blue wall. Here he is.
Yeah.
How did you see tonight?
Very similar to my kitchen cupboards, that blue.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was classy in his house, though.
Yes, we said it's a good performance first half. We went off a bit of second half, but we're 2-0 up. We took control again because they offered nothing really going forward. The only player that looked good was, I think, who was number 20 for them. He was the only one that looked like he was offering something. And I couldn't remember what his name was, but and the other one was probably Scully when he came on.
Good player, him. Yeah.
Rated him. But Backinson though, man of the match.
Oh, Norton Coffee.
Norton Coffee, on the right hand side. Yeah.
How upset were you when Teddy Bishop didn't get on? Sorry.
Teddy Bishop don't like to run though, does he?
I don't know. He was on the bench. I'm sure he was on the bench.
He probably did bring
voice notes. He didn't like running.
I'm gonna have a look at that because I'm sure he was on the bench tonight, and I was really hoping to see him.
He was on the bench. Yeah.
Brenner even said he goes, Bishop won't be making his coming off of the pitch on his football.
That's sad, isn't it? That's sad. We could
have bring him on because he would have got injured. Probably.
Oh, bless. I mean, I liked Bishop. He had a great game against Middlesbrough about 5 years ago.
You've got brick walls like the Fridge getting injured, Morsi getting injured. What hope did Bishop have out in the middle of the park? Absolutely.
That's true.
They've done him a favour.
Talking of Edmondson being injured, Louis, what do? Do you change your formation? Do you bring Burgess in, who is £1 million player or nearly £1 million in League One? What do you do if you are Kieran McKenna, if you are the mastermind?
Well, I stick with Burgess. I thought he played well when he came on. He did a job. I think I'll keep him in the team now. He did well.
Yeah, he has played in the back three, Curtis, at Accrington and Stanley. His pace has always been a major contention, but in the back three, I don't suppose you need that much pace. So what do you do?
No. You've got the players either side of you to have the pace. You just need the rock in the middle who basically covers everything up. So no, I get that whole side of it. If Fridge is out for a while, that really doesn't bother me. I'm a bit like Matt. I think it's more the middle of the pitch that I'm more concerned about if I was to be concerned about any position. But no, I've to be fair, I've been wanting to see more of Cameron Burgess. Because he's not really had a chance, obviously due to the fine form that our defence has been in. So I've been wanting to see more. And to be fair, the pressure's on now in the running, especially. I mean, what is it? Is it 3 points now? The gap's closed to. So
yeah, I'll get the league table up again. Here it is again. Us in 9th, 59. Plymouth in 6th, who are also on our fixture list. Louis, you know, how important is it now that we get 3 points Saturday, and then we've got to start beating teams like Oxford, Plymouth, Wigan, even. What do you think, Louis?
Yeah, it's important we get the wins, and we can only rely on what we can do. I mean, because I think people have said teams still need to play each other, so there will be slip-ups still. This season there's no way this season is over. We've still got a big chance of making these playoffs. With the players we've got, this could be one exciting last few games for us this season.
Yeah, I completely agree. Curtis, you got Portsmouth up next, whose playoff hopes are really strong. 2 games in hand on us, only 2 back. A win at Portman Road puts them, for me, in the driving seat. You've got Oxford after that, 65. They're not a million miles away from us at the moment. They are ahead of us, though. And then Plymouth, who are obviously the ones we are currently chasing. Those 3 games, it's going to become a common theme, but those 3 games, just how important is it you come away from those with minimum 7, but probably the maximum, to be honest?
Well, it's those 3 games that you mentioned there which could really throw this whole playoff race into disarray, couldn't it? I mean, you look at the points difference between us to 4th, and you get the right results, and that those playoff places really aren't safe for absolutely anyone. But how nice is it just to be able to be in the talks, for actually having something to shout about at the end of the season? I mean, there's so many times in recent seasons where we've just had to cope with these mid-table finishes, and now we've got something exciting to actually to finish with the season on. And it may happen, it might not, but I tell you what, I'm enjoying watching us. I'm enjoying these wins that are coming thick and fast. And you know what? If it don't happen, it might not happen. It don't bother me either way. I'm ending this season either way on a happier note than what I was last season. Last season, I was a bit dejected, like kind of bored, waiting for the next season. Whereas this season, I now see a plan. I see a manager with a team that is actually fighting for him, who didn't down tools, who clearly hasn't took the same amount of time it ever needed to gel undercook. And no, I'm just happy to be watching my team again. I'm happy to see us getting these results and just be within a shout of getting these playoffs, because we've had a bit of a long, sometimes a bit of a boring season, but in the last 15 games, can't argue. The fight has been there, and I think this is what annoyed most fans earlier on in the season, is because we could all see that the squad itself was good enough, and none of us could really figure out as to why it wasn't playing to the heights that it should have been. And then the manager goes, and hey ho, hey presto, we've turned a corner, and we're only on the way up. Clearly,
yeah, absolutely. Right, Curtis, Louis, love you both, but I'm going to bring the fisherman in. So look after yourself. Speak soon. Great points there, Curtis. Thank you ever so much, Louis. Look after yourself. Hopefully, get back on the platform soon. Good points from Curtis before I bring the fisherman in, Matt. But we joke about the knob comment last week, but just how different would that be if we'd done what MK Dons did tonight?
Oh, absolutely. But it's just with the benefit of hindsight, isn't it? No 2 games are the same. They came to us, and they with a plan of just getting a point, and they got it. Matt Johnson made a very good point in the comments earlier about Plymouth's running. I'm just looking at it now. So they go to Bolton on Saturday. Then they've got 3 home games in a week: Portsmouth, Accrington, Cheltenham. Then they come to us. Then they host Oxford. Then away at Burton. Then they go to Wickham, and then they finish the season out with Sunderland, Wigan, and MK Dons. So I think that game, when they come to us, if we're still on that momentum run of getting these 3 points, we in theory we could be close to them.
Absolutely. 17.99 super chat from Mr. Lewis Robinson. Nice. Thank you very much. Sorry for scaring you, Gov. Have a great time here in Amsterdam. Green shoots. Follow his lead. Support this platform.
Luke's still here. Luke is still here under various different accounts.
Luke's loving life. Luke's loving. He's finally found content creators that actually entertain people. Mr. Fisherman, for you, Mum.
Hi, Mike.
I
How
love
you
you,
doing,
Mike.
Papa?
I hope you are well today. Our thoughts are, my thoughts. I woke up first thing this morning, and the first thing on my mind was you. I hope you are well. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's been a tough day, but we've all got through it as a family, and it's good. So, but I've had a lot of messages from different people, and obviously nice messages from you guys over it. Never easy when you lose a parent, and it's the first time I've really sort of, I've lost my stepdad, but it's never quite the same as losing your real mum, is it? Sort of thing. So anyway, but my mum, avid Ipswich Town fan since before I was born. So, I'm a Town fan, obviously, since probably 4 or 5 years old, since I can remember football. So, look, tonight we won.
Mike,
Sorry?
When you said 4 or 5 years old, what year was that? 1930...
32.
32. That's what I thought.
Since I think I've got a photograph of me in 1973 in a Ipswich kit.
So, I think we've had it on the show before.
We have had it on the show before.
Yeah. So but look, I mean, I watched the whole game tonight. I watched it on obviously iFollow. Us knobs sitting behind a warm. I love Rich.
Isn't it lovely?
It's nice.
Lovely and warm, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
But
I'm wearing a t-shirt. Lovely.
Look, that I thought it was a really professional performance tonight. I mean, I know the second half they changed things. They changed their formation, which stifled us a bit, rattled us a little bit sometimes.
Okay.
But I mean, the game for me was won in the first half with that performance. Really, I think really they were lucky to get away with 2-0 in the first half. Players across the board. I can't really fault any player tonight. I can't say one was weak or whatever. I thought, like I said, if I was going to pick 1 or 2 out, I think Wolford had a great game. I think probably Backinson had a good game. Thompson, who I've been critical recently, he had a good game. But Luco, just for that turn, really, I thought that was just naughty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was just superb, sublime.
Yeah.
And but I mean, Christ, Walton didn't have much to do tonight. I don't think I had one shot on target. No, I had one shot on target in the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah. Were you disappointed that Pickett didn't get off the bench?
I think he was devastated.
Look, I've been a bit of ban. Look, for Christ's sake, people don't take me too serious when Pickett's going to.
We don't.
But I look. I'm going to be honest. I just don't think he fits in our side. I'm not saying he's not capable and he's done it before, but I just don't think he fits in our style of football. I really don't. And it's a shame because like Cruncher, like myself, we were both fans that wanted him to come here. Proven goal scorer. But the trouble is, you're not playing him like he was being played at Wimbledon. He's just not going to get. He's just not going to get the goals here that he got there. And look, if he gets 1 or 2 goals after, I mean, I scored 2 goals this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was one that's saying, look, he's not getting enough minutes, but look, he played the other day. People saying, look, he played well. Look, he did basics right. He did everything right. Didn't say he didn't do anything wrong, but there was nothing special there. There was no end product with him, or do you know what I mean? Holding the ball up is basic 101. Footballing, whether you're a midfielder or a forward or a striker. Anybody should be able to. Most good players should be able to do that. So for me, like I said, I know I'm giving Curtis a bit of stick or whatever, but it's all just a bit of, like I said, please don't take it too personal and stuff. But it's for me, like I said, Pickett. I think he really is. It's probably the one player I'd probably sort of him. Yeah, if I out of the forward 3, he'd be the one player I'd sort of move on. I just don't think he fits our style of football. And tonight, when I see he weren't starting, I felt that we would score goals, and as we did. And it was just, So that's Pickett anyway.
Sometimes, though, in all fairness to what Mike's saying there, Matt, good strikers go to clubs and it doesn't work out. Now, he scored goals elsewhere, but the longer it goes on that he's not scoring, the more fans such as Mike have, and it's perfectly justified, the lack of confidence in the striker.
I do get what Mike means about thinking of the club, because he's gone from being like the pivotal player, hasn't he? The star player of that Wimbledon team. His goals have kept him up, to kind of getting lost in the pack a little bit here. Might be a victim of all these 19 signings. But he wasn't lucky, sad. It wasn't. He did hit the post. Hopefully he can still have some kind of impact. But I do remember saying at the start of the season, I did feel like it could be a little bit of a Sam Parkin moment. Can he, even though he's coming, he's changing clubs in the same division, it's different going from Wimbledon to Ipswich. The expectation is higher. You're in a bigger stadium. The goal is promotion. Maybe he weighed heavy on his shoulders a little bit. I don't know. But he certainly feels like he's got lost in the pack. So Mike's certainly not wrong there.
The only saving... Go on, Callie.
As you can say, certainly under the times he's come under McKenna now and he started playing, he looks more that he's capable at like you just said, Matt, about taking it to, a team that's rather than facing relegation, but facing promotion. He looks comfortable there. He doesn't look out of depth when he's there. Whereas maybe earlier on in the season, he didn't. Maybe it's because no one really knew what they was doing because everyone's brand new as well. That kind of maybe had an issue, but certainly last couple of games, like even on the beach football game on Saturday up in Fleetwood, I thought he was decent, and he hit the post again. He keeps hitting the post a few times. He's making chances.
Yeah. If
I had to look at our forward four strikers, and Caden Jackson for me is the one I'm definitely keeping 100%. Especially with his age as well. He's a good age.
Yeah.
I know he's not hot right now, but I'd still look at if the price was right for Macaulay to keep him as well. And then if I had a choice between Norwood and Piggott, I'd veer towards Piggott over Norwood.
Would you keep Bond, Mike? Would you go with Bond?
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? I'm going to sit on the fence with Bond. The thing is, right, when you're talking about Piggott as a striker, and then you look at Jackson. I've been a critic of Jackson. I just think, oh my God, headless chicken, right? But he's come on and he's grabbed his chance with both hands, and you can't drop him right now. You cannot drop Jackson in a million years right now. But Piggott's had so many chances and he's not taken them. He's not done what Jackson's done.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can argue that he's a good player, and I'm not disputing that he's not a good player. I just don't think he fits our style of play. Wimbledon was the way Wimbledon play and the way we play, just a chalk and cheese. We're just completely different.
Yeah.
And I think Piggott fitted Wimbledon's style rather than ours. And that's, like I said, I'm not saying Piggott's a bad player because he's not. And he did have a good game, but there's games before when he's come on, he just looked like he had rubber feet where the ball would just bounce off him.
Cheltenham, yeah, certainly.
He was awful.
Do you reckon he should be handing back that number 9 back to Caden Jackson?
Absolutely.
The thing that may save Piggott is the fact he's under contract, whereas you've got Norwood out of contract, Jackson out of contract. Bon obviously is a lone player. Simpson's got the extension, maybe, possibly not. We don't know. So he's in the middle of the 3 tiers, whereas Joe Piggott is under contract. So if you don't want to overhaul your whole department and you want somebody there who's got a little bit of continuity, knows what's expected, can help new arrivals out in terms of what's expected from a striker in the McKenna system, that may be his saving grace. He may stick around simply because he still has another year or 2 left on his deal that he signed last summer, and that's it. But I can certainly see where you're coming from. Wes Burns on the score sheet again tonight, Mike, is limping, has been carrying some type of injury for a while, but he's still getting the goals. Now only, 1 away from Macaulay Bon. What did you think of Wes Burns' performance this evening?
Again, like I said, just really worked his socks off, didn't he? Even he was getting back as well, which I was pleased because I think we all can agree that there's been times when he's gone forward and he's kind of left Danassian a little bit exposed, and Danassian's got him out of trouble a few times, shall we say. But tonight, again, he was getting forward and he was getting back and helping Danassian. And You know, I know Danassian gave the ball away a couple of times in the whole game, but again, a solid performance, another consistent 7+, and I think that sums Burns up. I mean, Burns sort of went a bit quiet in the second half. If he's carrying injury, you know, look, we keep saying this. Everybody's saying that we got one of the best squads in this league. Yeah. So if it's just hypothetical, on a hypothetical scenario here, say we've lost Morsi, say we've lost Edmondson, and say we've lost Burns. Okay, 3 players that we know. Realistically, we've got Edwards who can do the Burns role down that right hand side. There's no reason why he can't. We've got Carroll, and although I'm not a great fan of El Mazzuni, he could possibly come in and do that role. And then Burgess didn't look like he'd been out of the game. I thought he slotted in that left of the 3, perfect. Which is again something we said with Burgess. You know, £1 million player coming in. That's what you want from your squad. A player to come in and do a job and not look like he's been playing all the time. You know, which I felt Burgess did. I thought Burgess done a brilliant job coming in after Edmondson was injured.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might be a good one, if there's ever a good week, for a centre-half to be rested. Might be, well, he needs one because obviously Portsmouth's top goal scorer, I believe, is still suspended. So it's not going to be easy, but Burgess is £1 million defender. So,
yeah,
you know, shouldn't be a huge drop-off.
I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if 1 or 2 of them are out at the weekend. Edmondson specifically, he didn't look comfortable coming off at all, did he?
No.
Morsi probably maybe a little bit of a tight calf or something like that come off. I noticed he did rub, but then there was another. I don't know if you noticed, but Wolfenden kept rubbing the back of his calf as well for that second half.
Yeah, the thing is, it's March. I'd be surprised if players weren't carrying niggly little injuries at this point of the season.
We're getting these in August.
It's a long season, isn't it? You expect, and this time of year, players always pick them up, and then they have to work through them, and they rehabilitate them Monday to Friday, and just to get through a Saturday. So I'd be surprised if players weren't feeling, you know, those niggly little effects. But Mike, this must have been an emotional day for you. So don't want to keep you too long, obviously, but we all support you on the platform, and there's lots of comments in the chat coming in full of support. So maybe go back and watch that bit back to see.
I sure do. Yeah,
truly, we're support. We're with you, and the chat are all with you as well. And it's anything we can ever do.
For myself, you know, from Talking Town, and not just the people, obviously, yourself, Martin, and others have sent me lovely messages about what, you know, with me mum and everything, and it isn't easy. If anybody, you know, for people that have been through it, it's not easy, I can't emphasize how important it is to talk to people and even just have them little messages sent to each other, because even though I can be a cantankerous old git on here sometimes, and I do love to wind people up, and I sometimes throw my toys out the pram, you know, it is what it is. It's football,
sometimes.
You know, I know, you know, I hope no one takes me too serious. Oh, well, no one takes me serious, do they? Let's be honest.
Only you take yourself seriously.
Yeah, perhaps. But, you know, but from myself and my family, I appreciate the support that we've had. All right. And I'll leave you on that note. All right.
We love you. Look after yourself. We appreciate you. £2.50 from Neil Perks. Thank you ever so much. And you YouTube member Lee Roberts, welcome home, brother. Welcome to the ITFC fan platform. Welcome home, my friend. Right, Mr. Parry, he is the voice of reason. Some say, I don't, but some say he is the voice of reason. And here he is.
Whoever says that. Even the wife never says that. Come on.
Max in the chat has got his little Stephen Parry banner out. He's your biggest fan. I know he is. But we are here. What did you make of tonight? Just pure domination.
It was just a solid, competent performance, wasn't it? You know, at the end of the day, as everyone said tonight, you know, the damage was done at first half. After the first goal went in, even Mick Wells was saying their passing, they lost their passing. They started making mistakes and errors. And it just looked like a second goal was going to come. And when it did, they just looked lost. You know, they were begging for half-time to come because it looked like we were probably going to get another. We didn't, but it looked like it. You know, so half-time came at right time, but they came at second half. They made a change. You know, the only way they could bring Scully on was making a change, because I listened to the pod Crunch was on the other day, and I think he said that Scully can't play in a 5-3-2. So to get him on, your top goal scorer, they had to make a change. And they did. And we struggled to figure it out, which I understand, and it started getting bitty. It started getting a bit antsy, you know what I mean? And then the injuries come into it, which didn't help, and it just but we were still professional and we still thought, well, we're 2-0 up. There's no need to really go and kill a team 5-6-7-0 because you only get 3
there
points.
is. There is. Just thinking windmill, really, isn't it?
No. But let me just pick you up on that point because it was brilliant until you said that one last piece there, Stephen.
Why?
That last bit just let you down because you're looking how tight that table is, yeah, and coming towards the end of it, you're telling me goal difference ain't going to be a part of that.
Not in a second half like that, because if we started pushing for
pushing
for third, they could have easily got one on the break, and then that would have changed the dynamic of the game. We had players going down. We hadn't figured out their formation in the second half. I'm not saying it wouldn't be great. I'm just saying in the game we were playing, it would have been madness to push for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals.
Yeah, I see that.
We could quite easily have got, as we hadn't got control of the second half as much as we had the first half, we could quite easily have got hit on the break. They did cause us a couple of problems. Walton had a good save. He misses that, it goes in. It's game on. And we've got some of our best players off the field. Then we start sitting there going, it's squeaky bum time. So I can understand why we just wanted to do a professional job and said, well, we don't need to go gung-ho. If we had the players on and we were fluid and we were passing and everything was cool, go gung-ho, go for the third and fourth. But if you can't get if you've not got control of the game, just keep the result that you've got. And then that helps your goal difference as well, because then you're not conceding any. So there's ways and rounds of play. I'm not saying that if you can't get 4, 5, 6 or 7, don't get it. Of course you get it if you can. But if you've not quite got control of the second half, which I don't think we did at any stage of that game, I think it was always a bit bitty.
Yeah, I agree.
We could never really get into it like we were in the first half. It wasn't worth taking that risk, because all it takes is one mistake and they're right back in it. Their confidence lifts, ours goes down a bit. We've got big players off, and then that game can end totally different. So I think it was a professional performance, and I think that's the best way it can be said.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have dropped 2 goal leads quite a lot this season.
We have, yeah, since Paul Hurst. So.
Yeah.
You go back to Paul Cook, and my biggest failure with Paul Cook, I thought he was too gung-ho. He didn't even think about defence. He
don't shut up shop. That's what he said.
No, it was that you score 2, I'll score 3, but we very rarely scored 3. That's the point. You know what I mean?
That's true. Joe, it's it must be about 2 years around this sort of time that we last played Coventry, got beat and got eliminated from the playoffs. But obviously the pandemic then kicked off. I must have known you about 16 months, Beep, and your beep in the background still makes me laugh every time. Every time I hear it while you're talking, I can't help but stick it to myself. It's still funny to me. I don't know why. We've got Jordan Casdale. We love you, Mike. Jordan Casdale, also a new YouTube member. Welcome home, brother. You are home with the ITFC fans. He does add, got to support the best chat podcast for town fans. Absolutely. Unfiltered, totally live, totally for you. Led by you. You can say what you like. Well, Crunch often does. So
you can see how totally live it was on Sunday when I was in the car, bloody moving shit. And Curtis is knocking on the window. And I just, listen, I managed that. We managed to recruit someone else on the way. So all I need to do is open the boot, say, take this up there, that there. There's a trolley at the top, and then we'll have a look at it from there.
Who else would have an angry meatloaf tribute on? You know,
absolutely. We're all just friends here, just talking about football most of the time in an angry voice. We try and be positive. Craig at Portsmouth, goal difference could decide this. Absolutely. Rob Smith. I hate looking. I'm with you, Rob. This is how I feel right now tonight. I hate looking at the table, knowing we dropped 4 points, Gentleman Morecambe. Frustrating. It absolutely bleeding is. Adam and Luke are getting best friends in the chat. They're going back and forth all night. Luke then says, Adam, I think we're soulmates. So,
I'll agree with that to a point, but you've also got to think at the end of the day, that's football, isn't it? We didn't lose. We got a point. It's frustrating.
Yeah, but 4 more points, Steve.
I know, but you could say that
we're banging the 5th place position.
It's still a false position, whatever we look at it.
Yeah, but it's not 9th, Callie. I fucking hate 9th. We're in 9th forever, man.
Would you prefer 10th?
No.
Right, okay. So listen, we played 37 games. There's 36 and 35 games around us. We need them to play theirs, let it play out, and then we really know where we are. Because the reality is, we're probably 6 points off.
Yeah.
Very
But all
true.
I'm trying to say is, it's like everyone focuses on them ones because they're the frustrating ones. But realistically, you can focus on the bad run we had at the beginning, the bad run we had after the good little run that we had. You can pick any of those. You can pick the Sheffield Wednesday result where we lost 2-0, and the Bolton one where we lost 2-0. I think they did us more damage than what Cheltenham and Thingy did.
Old home and away, Steve. You're right.
They did us more damage because they're now contenders. Cheltenham and Gillingham are not. Is it Cheltenham? No, Cheltenham and Morecambe. They're not contenders. We lost points to contenders. I think they did more damage to us than what those other two did. No matter how frustrating they are.
All clubs have got those stories, haven't they? Look at Wickham.
Yeah.
We're thinking, how did we lose home and away to Ipswich? We'd be sitting in fourth otherwise.
We're still behind Sunderland, and they've just gone what? They've just lost 15 points in a row.
Yeah, true.
So swings and roundabouts.
George Nunn never looked in danger. Unbelievable. This is the same group that were playing under Cook. They're unrecognisable.
Well, I mean, in fairness,
no, they are.
Mine's like it.
Paul Cook got a 6-0 win at Tuesday under the lights.
But he's equally couldn't hold on to a 2-0.
I'm just saying.
It was Evans' only 3 goals as well. Don't know where they came from.
The thing is, those 2 points at home early part of the season, that's another 2 points that you add to the league table. Forget the 2 last week.
We can do this for every fucking game. Exactly. And you're just going to get depressed, mate. You're going to get annoyed. Don't do it to yourself, Martin.
It's a 46-game season. You're going to have upsets and
27 points left. 27 points left.
I'm just a Town fan. Right, player ratings. Let's go tonight. Christian Walton, Stephen Perry, kick us off with your main man.
Because he was there on that save, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah.
7.
Because he'd done nothing. He could have been cold. He'd done nothing. And he was still alert enough at that crucial moment to get that save, which could have changed the dynamic of that game if they'd have got that one back.
I like that little goal kick he did where he just chipped it over the striker.
Goal, weren't he?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Piss take.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good that. Yeah, goal shot.
Luke's a bit confused. He thinks cups are at Carrow Road.
No, you're on about your parade for your participation in the UEFA Cup thing or whatever. I saw they're gonna add another honours list because I think of all the times they've lost to Liverpool recently, they've won a couple of second halves.
Yeah.
So they've won the second half. So well done, Tim United.
And their appearance in the Milk Cup, wasn't it?
You've got the Mr. Klutz Cup.
Mr. Klutz Cup.
Yeah,
that's their biggest trophy, of course. Mike Bassett.
Absolutely. There we go. 7.5 from Adam. Walton for a 7. Max is another clean sheet, an 8. Wes Burns, Callie. What do you think of Wes Burns tonight? What would you give him out of 10?
7, 6, 7. You don't like points or nothing in it, so
there's no halves in this game, son.
All right, so he's 7. He's not 7.5. He's not 8.
Surely he's an 8.
Half time.
He's not an 8 for me.
He scored a goal. Most of our good stuff came down the right.
He scored, but no. Listen, I'm telling you, the 3 best players. I can tell you straight. The 3 best players on that pitch was Jackson.
Morsi.
No. I'm not even saying Morsi. Right, Morsi for me was a 7, right? But I'm saying Jackson, Backinson, and Wolfenden. Those were your 3, and Aluko's up there as well, right? So they're all 8s, 7.5, 8s, right? But
from you, we'll get to those in a second.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. JD, Mr. Phillips, job done. Janoid and Asian.
Let me just quickly say, Burns was my man in the match at half time. I thought he was electric. JD, done good. So I'd give him a 7. Yeah,
7.
Looking solid. I'm loving the renaissance of JD. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
But written off, showing
for the whole night, for the whole 90 minutes for Burns. Yeah, he had a good first half, but for the whole 90 minutes,
that could have been because of his injury. So it does lower it slightly.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
The real Slim Shady, Stephen Perry.
I'd have to give him another 8. Because he was solid.
Yeah,
he was great.
Even when he pulled it, he didn't. Even when it looked like he pulled something at the back of his leg or his hip or something.
He just shook it off, didn't he?
He was still there, waiting for the ball to come to him. He wasn't shying away from the ball. Like Burns when he got injured a little bit. He didn't really want the ball passing to him. You know, he was getting rid of it very quickly because he wasn't really comfortable. But Wolf didn't do that. He just got the ball and he was looking around, seeing where's pass it, and he just passed it. You know, so I like that, mate, because it shows that, you know, he'll you know, you can stick one on him, he'll still be there to play. So an 8 for me.
Yeah, no problem. George Edmondson.
What, me?
Are you asking me?
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, I was just reading something. Sorry, Matt.
Edmondson, what minute did he go off? 65, 70, something like that? I think he was having a good game. I like that little bit of passage of play. I think it was in the first half where Marquis maybe was looking to get in and he blocks him off and Walton came and got the ball. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Okay.
7 for
Dominic Thompson, Callie.
7.
Good game today, actually, for Dominic Thompson.
It wasn't bad.
That corner, though, right at the start of the half, Callie, when he headed the ball.
Yeah, that was just like. Do you know, I had flashbacks to Spence, Jordan Spence letting the ball go out. I was like, no, fucking hell. And I'm sure we conceded from that corner, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm giving him a 7 is because I don't think he was quite up there with an 8. If Martin was okay with us giving points, then it'd be 7.5. Or maybe a 7.7, however you like that, right? But Martin don't like that, so we're on a 7.
What sort of stuff? Come on, where they give points.
I'm gonna give him 7.5432 to the power 6. Right.
Sam Morsi, Stephen Parry.
One assist, of course, didn't he? On the second goal.
No, I'll have to give him an 8 because just out of nothing else.
You're giving everyone a fucking 8.
Out of anything else, because the drive we lost when he went off. You know, he offers us more than just being a battling little player. Everything goes through him. You know, the ball goes to him. He looks for Selena or whoever's there, and he passes the ball. You know, when Carroll came on, it like disrupted that a little bit, and we lost something. That we lost a lot more when Carroll came on. You know, if Morsi's not fit for Saturday, I think someone like Selena going in there with Backinson would be better.
I agree, yeah.
You know, or a Luco, someone like that, a central midfield, an attacking midfielder in the central role who's going to be moving forward. You know, rather than putting Carroll on, because I think that we lost something when Carroll came on. So I'll give him an 8 just for what we lost.
He's a funny player, Carroll, isn't he? Because he comes with such great pedigree at Spurs and QPR and all that. But he sort of gets the ball and it looks like he's doing loads of things, but he's never actually progressing us like Morsi does. So
no. I think we all know the reason why. He's used to more time. And you don't get that in League One. You know, he's a championship standard player where they don't press you as much. You've got
exactly.
I was watching, what was it, Everton and Tottenham the other night. They weren't even closing them down. They're about 15 yards away from him. In a game like that, Carroll's lovely. Yeah. Because no one's chasing him down. When he's got to do something quick, his mind's not fast enough. He's not like Selena, where his mind's going, and he knows what he's going to do before he does it. Carroll can't do that because he's not been used to having a position where he gets closed down all the time. And I think that's where we miss out on him. He's got a lovely range of passing. He wants to do it too slowly.
So Sam Morsi went off. Don't know if it's a groin, don't know if it's a hamstring, don't know if it's an Achilles. We don't know what quite the injury is. But we are on 8th of March. So how big of a miss will Sam Morsi be if it is an extended period of time, Matt, that he is on the sidelines? Because I'm looking at my diary and I'm thinking, even if it's 3 or 4 weeks.
We do miss him, don't we? I mean, look, we did 4 games about him, didn't we? We do miss him. I mean, you could see the difference as soon as he came back at MK Dons. He's just got, I don't know what it is. He's just got that, there's something more about him than what everyone else offers to the team. Okay, he's an international as well. He's played for Egypt, isn't he? He's just much more progressive than what Carroll is. My worry is if Carroll and Backinson played together, is they end up doing the same role, just recycling the ball over and no one actually taking any responsibility to actually get the ball forward, which Carroll doesn't really do for me.
Did you hear the interview before with Thompson before from?
No.
So that Morsi's the first in the ice bath. He dunks himself right underwater, and he's the last one out. And he's always making sure everyone gets in there quick as possible, and he's always the first one in and the last one out. He said he's like made of nails. He is.
Oh my God, that's hardcore. The ice bath.
Well, let's hope he is made of nails, and that injury is nothing too substantial.
Yeah.
So talking of Backinson, Callie, what would you give him out of 10 tonight? You've obviously spoken about him already, so what would you give him out of 10?
Well, I'll give him an 8, but Stephen's giving everyone an 8, so I've got to give him an 8.5 or a 9.
I agree with your 7 for
You know
Burns.
what I mean? Fucking hell, like, yeah. For me, he was an 8, right? He was up there as the man of the match, right? His best game in a town shirt.
Sonny Aluko, Matt Phillips.
I mean, what we're going to give him for the? But what can we give him for the little turn? 10 out of 10. He had a great game. I think the thing that frustrates me with Aluko is sometimes he chooses the wrong pass. All right, it's easy for me to say when I'm watching on the screen on tap in the stand. You're thinking, possible that's the left, it goes right, or he underhits it. So I thought he had a good game. I don't think he had quite as good a game as what everyone's making out, but I think he played very well. Experienced head. You know, loads of League One clubs would love a player like him. I've got to give him an 8 because he had impact and I thought he had a good game. But sometimes I just feel like I get frustrated with he chooses the wrong pass.
Just needed that assist tonight or a goal to tip him over the edge and make him, because he had everything else about his game. I completely agree. Yeah. First, that's Selena, Steve.
I'll give him a 7, but it would be a 7.5. You know, he still does what it says on the tin. He's always there for that progressive pass, you know, and it's in and out. It's like it's very quick. He already knows what he's going to do with it before he gets it, you know. And he's always looking around. You know, his free kicks need work. Need work because they're atrocious. So I don't know what's happened there.
A player of his quality, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll give him a 7 because he's always progressive. He always wants to move forward. He always wants to run at people. Sometimes he runs a bit too far and he ends up going into traffic. But I think that can be worked on. But he's progressive, and I like that. I like a player who knows what he's going to do before he gets the ball because he knows he's going to get the ball. You know, and he already knows what pass he's going to make. So it's just like in and out. And it allows us to move much more quickly, and it really hurts the defence.
Kieran McKenna.
Yeah,
according to Andy Stride, KM stated Morsi hamstring and Edmondson ankle. So if Morsi is a hamstring, you're looking at, I reckon, probably 3 weeks minimum, 4 weeks. For me, that puts season's done for you, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the type of hands. It might just be straight. You know what I mean?
Season's done.
So it could be. This is our last 3-week match, isn't it? So it could be just missing Saturday, and then he's got a full week, hasn't he? You know, we don't know what it's going to be like then. You know, after tonight, if he doesn't play Saturday, he's got nearly 2 weeks before we have to play again.
It'll be our James Scowcroft at Wembley. You know, the player that, you know, did so great but couldn't quite play in the final, but was there in the suit. You know,
well, realistically, it's going like Matt said. You know, at the end of the day, we lost him for that suspension. What did we do? We lost him 4 games. We won 3 of them. Did we miss him?
Come on. No, but be fair. They were poor teams that we played against.
We just played poor teams with him, as people keep saying. You know, let's be fair. Yeah, we did a job with him in there, with him not in there. Yeah, so we can do it again, and that's what I keep saying. Right. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Best case scenario, he's back for Shrewsbury, Rotherham, Wigan, Crewe, and Charlton in my book.
He's the kind of play you want for Rotherham, isn't it? Absolutely.
Best case scenario, if it's a 3 to 4 weeks, but because of where we are in the month, Matt, it's a real possibility that you know the time is not enough for him to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, funny things, hamstrings, aren't they? I mean, because the season finishes at the end of April, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's the thing. You've got 8 weeks. Yeah, you got 8 weeks.
Yeah.
4 or 5 of those could be on the hamstring. Yeah.
Yeah, and you think about that, and it's not just like a knock or something like that. When you got a injury like that, it takes time to get back to match fitness. So you need a couple of 23 games.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. So if you're thinking, he'll come back around Shrewsbury, Rotherham, then he's got to do the 23 games, and then before you know it, it's only the Charlton game left.
Yeah.
You know,
fitness as well.
The reality is, and the reality is, we should be prepared, like looking for, rest of the season, he's not here. This is what we need to do. So
Evans will be back soon, hopefully.
I agree to that to an extent, but we can't say just because someone says it's an hamstring, we're looking at the doom section.
It's who said it's a hamstring though.
Oh yeah, I know. It probably is an hamstring, but there are lots of different things that can go wrong with your hamstring.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll probably need a scan.
You know? So it changes the dynamic of what it is. Just saying it's your hamstring could be anything, you know. Yeah. So I think we can say 3 to 4.
But this is Ipswich. His leg's probably about that hanging off.
Well, we don't know, do we? We're assuming.
It's Ipswich, Steve. It's always going to be worst case scenario, isn't it? Come on, mate. He left with an hamstring. He's probably got both hamstrings gone now.
Even if
just
it's
getting in the
worst
car
case
park.
scenario, even if it's worst case scenario, like you said, we've got Evans coming back. Backinson's had another good game, yeah. And we can always put a Luca or Salina in as a progressive centre midfielder if needs be. It can be cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's why we have a big squad.
Should have signed Jay Matete, but I did tell you Mark Ashton. He didn't listen. Caden Jackson, last rating, Matt, before we bid farewell.
Yep, another great game. Give him 8. Hats off to him. He's doing great. We said in the pre-match show, he's almost one of the undroppables now, isn't he? And he's proved it again. Great to see. Really good to see.
He's got the same amount of goals as Norwood this season, though.
There you go. There you go. That puts a few people who, on this. So we are done. We are dusty. A huge thank you to Lee Robertson, Jordan Cansdale for becoming YouTube members. Welcome home, brothers. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We are back live. Of course you can. Always, Stephen. Come on, go for it.
I didn't think Caden Jackson could play that one up front central role, and he surprised me tonight because he played it very well. And I think this could be the making of the lad, because his pace is useful. And I didn't really I wasn't convinced in playing that one up front on his own. I know he's got 2 supporting players, but that one in the centre, I didn't think he could play that. I was thinking it was more a left hand side or whatever. But it showed tonight he can do it, and hats off to him. He was out in the wilderness. He's come back in and he said, I'm good enough. And he's proven his point. Hats off to him.
Ashton's got to offer him a contract in the summer. He's 100%. got to get him signed up. He's the player. You've got to sign him up.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just laughing because I've just noticed on Twitter that Melanie Burns, obviously Wes Burns' mum, put "Get in, Wes," and then the Ipswich Town FC official account quote tweeted that and said, "Thank you, Melanie. Sincerely, everyone at ITFC." I ain't joking, Gal. You pulled that out. I'll show you. I'll put it on the screen. I ain't shy. Let's have a look. Here it is.
That's weird, you?
It's very formal, isn't it?
I mean, the admin needs a pay rise for that type of, that type of banter. There it is.
It counts.
Thank you, Melanie. Sincerely, everyone at ITFC.
I wonder if they don't actually realise who it is.
Oh, no, of course they realise who it is.
They know who it is.
They should do. If not, they're definitely not. They definitely don't need a pay rise. But there you go. What a night. We've ended on a. I don't know what we're ending on, to be honest with you, but we're ending. We are
another
back
3 points in the bag. Is what we're
absolutely. We are back live tomorrow, 8:30. Myself, Mark Tuxford, and Alex Wilson will add some further insight into tonight's game. We'll look at sofa scores, see what they've told us, heat maps, stats, anything else you want knowing, and then we'll look ahead to Portsmouth and see what Pompey could be bringing to the table. But for tonight, he is always Mr. Positive. Well, Mr. Ultra Positivity, Stephen Parry. We love you, appreciate you. He is the king. Keep your ear to the ground. Let us know. And he is the mogul. But until tomorrow, Ipswich Town have won, but we're still, you won't believe this, we're still sat in 9th.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.